US President Donald Trump has abruptly fired Air Force General C.Q. Brown as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on Saturday. The move is part of Trump's broader effort to purge military leadership that advocates for diversity and equity within the ranks. Brown was the second black general to serve as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and is expected to reverberate through the Pentagon. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump has urged Russia and Ukraine to stop the bloody war. Remember, amid Russia and US talks in Saudi Arabia, the US President Donald Trump has urged both the countries to stop the war that is ongoing and has resulted in multiple deaths. US President, while speaking on the conflict, said that Putin and Zelensky must unite to end this bloody war.
President Putin and President Zelensky are going to have to get together because you know what? We want to stop killing millions of people. Soldiers are being killed by the thousands a week, thousands of soldiers a week. As we speak, they're being killed. That's why I want to see a ceasefire and I want to get the deal done. I think we have a chance to get the deal done. I had to make sure that Russia wanted to do it.
And to talk about it in detail, we have a US journalist and author, David K. Johnston, live from New York. Thank you so much, David, for joining us. How do you see the unprecedented military leadership shakeup in the United States?
Well, I've been warning people for 9.5 years that Donald, whom I've known for almost 37 years, wants to be America's dictator. And the key thing he had not put in place was firing top generals and replacing them with people who would be personally loyal to him. Now he's done this with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and this comes after he has shut down the inspectors general, who are the in-house government watchdogs, particularly the ones who are investigating contract abuses and waste of taxpayer money by Elon Musk. He's appointed one of his toadies as Attorney General, Pam Bondi, an utterly corrupt prosecutor. And he's put Kash Patel in head of the FBI. Patel has promised to essentially eviscerate the FBI's counterintelligence function. And this firing and the promotion of someone out of order, actually a retired general, is being brought back, is a very ominous sign for Americans and their liberty and for the rest of the world.
But Mr. Johnson, do you agree and do you look at it as a way to shake up things? Well, talking about the shake-up, let's also talk about the US efforts to douse the fire between Russia and Ukraine. The US, do you think, will be successful in its effort to end Russia and Ukraine war?
Well, remember that Donald Trump said that if he won the election, he would end the war in a day. It's now long past the election in November, and he hasn't gotten anywhere in terms of doing that. What he has done is told the American public and the world that the aggressor here is Ukraine. They started the war. That's ridiculous. It's Russian propaganda. And what Trump is doing on the world stage is realigning America from the champion of the liberties of the people and democracy to being the champion of dictators like Vladimir Putin, dictator Kim in North Korea, MBS in Saudi Arabia, and others who rule totally unaccountable to the people in their countries.
Mr. David, when we talk about Trump's surprising actions and decisions that he takes, but what should be done to, in your opinion, frankly, what should be done to change that perception that he has created so far?
Well, I don't know that you can change the perception. I mean, there are many people in America who think this is great because they don't understand how democracies work and how Donald only wants people in significant positions of power who are loyal to him personally. That's not what you take an oath of office for. You take an oath of office to the U.S. Constitution. And let's remember that just a week ago, Donald proclaimed himself effectively a dictator. He said anything he does to save America doesn't violate the law, And this week, the White House posted a picture of Donald Trump with a crown on his head that said, "Long live the king." So what's going on here is not a matter of perception. It's Donald telling you, as he often does when he's doing horrible things, exactly what he's up to, and that's to become dictator.
Mr. Johnson, how do you see the comments being made by Donald Trump calling Zelensky a comedian, and on the other hand, the US envoy hailing Zelensky as a courageous leader while the talks to end this war are underway?
Well, one of the things Donald has always done is muddy waters and make things appear to be complex or unclear. The simple fact is that Donald has expressed that he is on the side of the aggressor here. And while he has said that Zelensky is a dictator, which is nonsense, he was democratically elected, he's praised Putin. In the past, he has said he doesn't trust any of America's intelligence agencies, but he trusts and takes at his word Vladimir Putin. And in all of this, you're seeing that Donald is appallingly ignorant about world events, geopolitics. He's a con artist. He's the greatest con artist in the history of the world, and he's conned people into believing he's some sort of genius when he's not. He's frankly not that smart.
So how do you see, David, what do the other nations actually should comprehend by these actions of, Donald Trump, especially the Europe?
Well, I think the Europeans are going to have to step up and fill in the void in defending Ukraine, or else Vladimir Putin will proceed, not immediately because his military is decimated. He's losing 1,500 soldiers a day. America in World War II only lost 300 soldiers a day. But he intends to invade and conquer other countries. The leaders of the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, the leaders in Moldova, Slovakia, elsewhere, they have all said that they're very worried that Putin, if he isn't stopped, is going to move on to other countries. If the Europeans decide not to step up, then we should expect decades of intermittent warfare in Europe, something we haven't had since 1945. And I think that world leaders should be very concerned. The prime ministers of Canadian provinces were in Washington last week when I was there. I saw them.
Right.
And one of the questions they kept asking is, will America invade Canada to turn it into the 51st state?
Right. Thank you so much, David, for joining us at this hour.